Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining this talk. We are Team T5. Today, our topic is Unveiling TeleBoyi, Chinese APT targeting critical infrastructure worldwide. I am Yu-Tung Chang. I work at Team T5 as a threat intelligence researcher. And this is Yi-Xin Chuang. She is also a threat intelligence researcher at Team T5. We both focus cyber threat in APAC region. This is our agenda. First, we will introduce the Chinese APT group, TeleBoyi, and their long-term activities. Second, we will briefly introduce their delivery methods, malware, and CNC infrastructure. Third, we will discuss the relation between TeleBoyi and other APT groups. Finally, in conclusion, we will give you some key takeaways. Okay, in this section, I will share the overview of the Chinese APT group, TeleBoyi. TeleBoyi is a Chinese Nexus Advanced Persistent Threat Group. We named this APT group after Boy, which is a Chinese mythological creature. Besides, we added the word Tele as the APT group's name prefix because of its persistent interest in telecommunication industry. TeleBoyi is an active APT group that focuses on cyber espionage. Based on our observation, the activities of TeleBoyi can be tracked back to 2014. Their scope of targets expand across numerous countries worldwide, especially APAC region. As for targeted industry, TeleBoyi usually target critical infrastructure, mainly telecommunication industry. In our observation, TeleBoyi has lots of malware in use, such as Plug-S, LibreCoin, Double Show, SuperZero, etc. In the past, TeleBoyi has launched multiple cyber espionage attacks worldwide, including Americas, Europe, and Asia-Pacific region. Among these countries, Taiwan, Thailand, India, and Pakistan are the victims that have been repeatedly attacked by TeleBoyi. And recently, we have noticed that Brazil, Japan, Vietnam, and Myanmar have been the new targets of them. On this page, we list the target industry of TeleBoyi. Among these industries, telecommunication is the primary target for them. They have been compromised several telecommunication companies in the past 9 years. Another interested target are high technology and critical manufacturing industries, such as semiconductor, aerospace, and IT companies. Recently, we have noticed that TeleBoyi has adapted energy-related industry as their new targets, such as power plants, fuel companies, and nuclear industries. The rest of the targets are public-facing units, including cryptocurrency exchanges, banks, government agencies, universities, and hospitals. Attacking critical infrastructure has become more and more prevalent among Chinese APT groups. According to recent research, Chinese APT groups have been quite interested in critical infrastructure in various countries. For example, In 2021, PD security uncovered Chang gang attacking energy and aviation industry in Russia. Furthermore, there are 9 other victim countries, including the United States, India, Nepal, Taiwan, and Japan. In another example, Cybereason published a report about Operation Cuckoo Bees, which was launched by APT-41. The target scope of this operation includes technology and manufacturing companies in North Korea, Europe, and Asia. According to the report, APT-41 is aiming for intellectual property developed by the victims. In the third example, Microsoft published a report that Volt Typhoon had targeted critical infrastructure in the US since 2021. In this report, Microsoft assessed that Volt Typhoon might have developed capabilities to disrupt crucial communication infrastructure during future crises. So, based on the previous reports, there are 3 reasons why Chinese APT groups are targeting critical infrastructure. The first reason is espionage and information gathering. This will help them gain insight into countries, like Chang gang targeting numerous countries. The second reason is technology left. APT groups may aim to steal intellectual property and technology-related information for economic and technological advancement, such as APT-41. The third reason is preparation for future operations. APT groups may conduct reconnaissance for potential future operations, like Volt Typhoon. Despite TeleBoyi's long history of operations, the public reports about this threat group remains rare. Operation Harvest, reported by McAfee, is the only public report that mentioned the activity of TeleBoyi. In this report, this group used plugins and Winty malware, and their similar campaign can be traced back to 2019. Based on the C2 domain mentioned in this report, we believe this campaign overlaps with the TeleBoyi's activities. Okay, this is the attacking timeline of TeleBoyi from 2015 to 2020. The earliest identified campaign is targeting an IT company in Taiwan. A special case is that TeleBoyi targeted an aerospace company in the United States in 2015. We observed numerous activity targeting telecommunications from 2015 to 2018, and the victims spent extensively from West Asia to Southeast Asia. During this period, Turkey and India were the mainly target countries. Besides, they also launched several attacks targeting the financial industry, such as cryptocurrency exchanges in Indonesia and Korea, and a bank in Kazakhstan. This is the recent attacking timeline. From 2020 to 2021, TeleBoyi launched the attacks against the semiconductor industry. This case had overlapping CNC infrastructure with Operation Harvest. As for telecommunication, TeleBoyi continuously compromised more telecommunication companies in Asia. and India remained the most interested country in this period. After 2022, TeleBoyi started to target energy-related industry, such as fuel companies in Thailand and nuclear companies in Brazil. Over the past 2 years, we have known an expansion in TeleBoyi's targeting countries, including Vietnam, Brazil, Myanmar, and Japan. Additionally, there has been an increase in the range of targeted industry, such as energy, nuclear, and postal service. We believe TeleBoyi will continue to enlarge the scale of their attacks. According to the timeline, our analysis suggests that TeleBoyi's interest in the critical infrastructure may be related to China's strategic investment and intellectual properties. For instance, TeleBoyi's earlier attack against the Turkish telecommunication industry happened when China and Turkey were cooperating to develop 5G network in Turkey. Another example is that TeleBoyi has also shown its interest in countries like India and Vietnam, where China's telecommunication products have been banned. Besides, TeleBoyi's interest in the semiconductor industry could be seek intelligence, trade secrets, and related intellectual properties as the China sought to develop advanced chips amid the tech blockade from the US. We also found that TeleBoyi's campaign against the energy industry in Thailand and Brazil, where China has investment in their energy sector. Okay, in this section, we will introduce TeleBoyi's delivery, malware, and C2 infrastructure. Here, I'm going to introduce how TeleBoyi delivers their malware. The first one is fake applications and documents. Actors would disguise their malware as legitimate files. Second, malicious document files. Actors leverage document with malicious macro or HTA file to fetch their malware. Third, exploit public-facing application. Actors attack a vulnerable website or server, then upload their web shell. TeleBoyi packs malware as a self-extracting archive and disguise the archive as a legitimate file. In the first sample, actors add a PDF icon and name this sample in Turkish. According to the translation, actors try to disguise it as a PDF report about corruption among office staff. The second one is adding a media player icon, and the file name is named in traditional Chinese. The file name means unable to register. The web page is garbled. It seems that actors try to disguise it as a video to show the garbled web page. The third one is adding an office word icon. Obviously, actors try to disguise it as a document file about news of a university in Taiwan. Next, this is a flowchart about malicious document files. Actors prepare a decoy document with malicious macro. Once the macro is executed, it will download a self-extracting archive which contains plug as malware. Exploiting is another way for TeleBoyi to deploy their malware. In our research, they might use many kinds of vulnerabilities to attack website or server of a target, including Java deserialized vulnerabilities, Exchange vulnerabilities, Stratus 2 S2045, etc. Once they achieve the goal, the most deployed tool is web shell, such as China Chopper or Godzilla. Then TeleBoyi will further deploy their malware, such as plug-s. Based on our research, TeleBoyi prefers to use self-extracting archive to pack their malware. We believe it is for flexible deployment, because once the self-extracting archive is executed, it will drop and install all components of a malware. An interesting thing is that TeleBoyi also prefers to use icon on their self-extracting archive. Some of them might be used in fake files, such as PDFs and Word documents. And also something special, like pedestrian crossing and the deception from transformers. Then, I will hand over to Chuang to continue the presentation.
So, hi, in this part, I'm going to introduce TeleBoyi's arsenal. And as you can see on the slide, TeleBoyi use a couple of malware in their attacks. Most of them are shell tools, such as plug-s, Winty, ShadowPay, DRay, and 000, also called Milufi, and LibreCoin, also known as RateOX. Apart from that, during our investigation, we found TeleBoyi used two kinds of malware that haven't been disclosed in public before. We track them as double show and fake worker. TeleBoyi use commercial or open source malware as well, like Cobalt-Strike, Sliver, and Async. For the hacking tools, we found they use web shell like China Chopper or Godzilla, and credential dumping tool like Mimikatz, and also other hacking tools such as keylogger or hack browser data to steal sensitive information. So this is the overview of TeleBoyi's weapons, and now I'm going to share with you the details about their malware. The first one is plug-s, and it's a backdoor with modular plugins, so hence the name plug-s. Plug-s is used by a lot of Chinese APT groups, including TeleBoyi, APT41, Monster Panda, etc. So before talking about TeleBoyi's plug-s, let's look at the loaders. And we have observed that this custom loader is used to load both plug-s and Cobalt-Strike as payload. The loaders are typically packed with Samida or VM Protect packer, which makes the detection or analysis more difficult. And it decrypts the payload with SR decryption, while the key is a single byte value. And interestingly, the strings are encrypted using a pseudo-random generation algorithm, also called PRNG. Like you can see on the slide, the decryption function has an initial seed as the argument. Then this initial seed will be used to generate a value with PRNG. And finally, this generated value will be used as a key to decrypt the strings. So this is the TeleBoyi's custom loader that used to load plug-s or Cobalt-Strike. Okay, so and as we all know, plug-s is used by several Chinese APT groups, right? But you might be curious about what's the difference between plug-s of TeleBoyi and other actors. So here is the difference. We found TeleBoyi use a special password in their plugin samples. And, in their configuration block. And this password is used for the verification during the handshake with C2 server. It's this word. Looks like meaningless or garbled text, right? But interestingly, to input this word, you need to press and hold the Shift key on the keyboard, then press the number 7758521. This number in Chinese is called 7758521, which sounds similar to 亲亲我吧我爱你, means kiss me, I love you. So according to our database, so far we didn't find any other actors using this password. So it indicates this password is unique and it's one of the features of TeleBoyi. The second malware is LibreCoin, and it is identical to the malware called RadioX by Luck. We believe LibreCoin was developed at least in March 2022, according to our database. LibreCoin has two connection modes, that is, reverse mode and listen pro mode. And it also supports different protocols, like TCP, HTTP, and TLS. Like plugins, it is a modular backdoor as well. LibreCoin has several plugins for backdoor functions, like command shell, file operations, proxy, screenshot, keylogger, etc. And this is LibreCoin's execution flow. The malicious loader will read and decrypt payload file with RC4 algorithm. The decrypted payload is a shellcode loader, and it will decrypt its embedded binary as the malware LibreCoin. Then LibreCoin will inject itself into a legitimate file, and then it will decrypt a configuration file with RC4 for the C2 communication. Okay, so this is the execution flow of LibreCoin. And I want to share with you there is something interesting about the shellcode loader I mentioned in the last slide. So this shellcode loader, it has a special algorithm called ROR12 for the API hashing. Then it will decrypt payload with the SR and LZNT1 decompression, then do the reflective DLL injection. And interestingly, we found this shellcode loader is like a template shared among certain Chinese APT groups. It is not only used in TeleBoyi's LibreCoin, but also used in Earth Barbaroka's Coinless, which is a variant of a notorious malware called Clambling, and also used by Famous Sparrow in their Cobalt Strike sample, and Ground Pianist Migdown. So that's very interesting. Okay, so the next malware is called Double Shell. It has been in the wild since 2020, and it's a complicated backdoor and has multiple stages. Double Shell has 4 backdoor functions like disk operations, file management, screenshot, and command shell. So once executed, the Double Shell's first stage loader will decrypt its results as a DLL by using a custom algorithm. Then this DLL will decrypt the payload file as shellcode using the similar algorithm. Then this shellcode will do the self-modification and turns out as another DLL, which is Double Shell's main module. The main module has 3 functions called run, daemon, and work. And interestingly, the function daemon and function work are the watchdogs for each other. Okay, and then the module will download the plugin from the C2 server, and this plugin is a PE file that has 4 classes to handle different backdoor functions. Okay, so we mentioned that Double Shell use a custom algorithm for decryption, right? And here is how it works. Before doing the decryption, the DLL loads the results with an ID. This result is a bitmap like the picture on the slide, and the loader will extract a binary from this picture. The decryption has several stages. First, the loader decrypts a string as C3 and Z9X. Then it used all the permutations of this string as a RC4 key to decrypt the first 6 bytes of the binary blob. If the decrypted result is equal to the permuted key, the result will be used as a RC4 key again to decrypt the binary blob started from offset 6, that is the region with blue color. After that, the loader will decrypt the remaining binary blob with green color, where the RC4 key is the binary blob in this red frame. And finally, the decrypted result will be a DLL for the next stage. So this is Double Shell's custom algorithm for the decryption. And Double Shell also uses a technique called teardrop resolver. Its configuration could contain a legitimate website's URL, for example, the Google site. TeleBoyi will put some strings on this Google site, and once Double Shell is executed, it will fetch this string from this Google site and decode it as a new C2 address. So using this technique can protect C2 from discovery because it is hidden by the legal site, and also actors can keep updating their C2 address. The last malware is called Fake Worker. It was developed as early as April 2022, and it's a backdoor used to target Linux operating systems. The malware has 7 backdoor commands like upload, download, and sudo terminal. The format of command code is like this one. The lex number could be 1 to 7. For the communication, Fake Worker supports KCP. KCP is a popular protocol in China. It is used widely in proxy software or online games. The communication is XOR encrypted, while the key is 99. And as you can see, the first picture is the packet sent from victim system to C2 server. And this 4 byte from offset 8 is the size of entire packet. And then a hello string is appended. Then the data with green color is the information about victim system, such as username, hostname, etc. Then the C2 server will respond with another packet like the second picture, and the last 7 byte is the command code. Okay, so these are TeleBoyi's malware, and now I'm going to share with you TeleBoyi's infrastructure. TeleBoyi's infra consists of VPS server and compromised website. And interestingly, we found some of their domains contain companies related to their targets. For example, we found they use domains containing ASML, which is a famous supplier for the semiconductor industry. TeleBoyi used these domains to attack a Taiwanese semi-company in 2020. Another example is the domain related to Idea Cellular. We found this domain is used to attack Indian telecoms. Also, the domain contains Phonic, and it's a robotics company in Japan. We found TeleBoyi used this domain to target an aerospace unit. The last example is the domain related to as exchange. We found TeleBoyi used domains like asfinance.asia to attack the crypto industry in Taiwan last year. We also found TeleBoyi used domains that mimic famous companies. For example, they imitate Microsoft, Google, and even Line, a popular messaging app in Asia. And also PC Home, it's a famous e-commerce company in Taiwan. So these are TeleBoyi's infra. Now I'd like to share with you the relationship between TeleBoyi and other APT groups. The first one is that we found TeleBoyi use Winty malware, which is close to APT41. And also we found Chengdu's IP in their attack. As you may know, APT41 is also a hacking group believed to be based in Chengdu. So these are their connections. The second one is the use of malware 000. We found TeleBoyi used the Windows version of 000, while as Earth Barbarossa and Famous Sparrow, these two APT groups use 000 as well. The last one is the shellcode loader I mentioned before. We found this shellcode not only appear in TeleBoyi's LibreCoin, but also in Barbarossa's Coinless and Famous Sparrow's Cobalt, and also Grand Peony's Migdown. Currently, we treat Famous Sparrow and Grand Peony as Slime 40 internally. So these are the relationship between TeleBoyi and other APT groups. According to the connections we discussed before, we provide two conjectures. First, there might be a potential collaboration between TeleBoyi and other APT groups, including APT41, Earth Barbarossa, and Slime 40. Second, there might be a malware supply chain among these groups because of the malware sharing. Okay, so let me summarize our presentation. So far, we introduced TeleBoyi, which is a Chinese APT group, has long-term activities. And they attack critical infra all over the world, probably be aligned with China's strategy policy. TeleBoyi use different ways to get the initial access, like fake applications, malicious documents, and also exploit public-facing servers. We also introduced TeleBoyi's weapons, and most of them are shared tools. They also use two malware called Double Show and Fake Worker, which haven't been disclosed in public before. Another thing is that we believe TeleBoyi has a close connection with other Chinese APTs, including APT41, Earth Barbarossa, and Slime 40. And finally, it appears that Chinese actors, including TeleBoyi, nowadays are increasingly using shared tools in their attacks, and that makes group tracking more and more challenging. Okay, so that's all. Thanks for coming and thanks for listening today.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much. Now moving on to the question and answer session. If you have any question, please come to the microphones. We have simultaneous translation services. You can ask question in Japanese too.
皆様いかがですか？
Anyone from the floor? Please go ahead.
非常に面白い分析になり
It was very interesting analysis. I have one question. Can you hear me okay? Interpreter is translating right now. Yeah, he has one question. So in the latter half of the presentation, you mentioned about the relation between TeleBoyi and other APT group. So how did you judge these two are related? TeleBoyi used certain malware, and that's the reason you think that these other APT groups are related? Or did you use any other methodology to judge TeleBoyi and other APT groups are related?
Yes, so basically we discuss the relation between TeleBoyi and other APT groups are basically based on the malware, the tools they use.
どうもありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。
Thank you.
その他皆さん
Are there any other questions? Any questions? Can we assume that there are no... Since there seems to be no other questions, then we will close off this session. Thank you, Yi-Ching and Yu-Tung. I'm sorry, there's another person who was going to the microphone, so please ask your question. Well, please forgive us. Thank you very much for your presentation. In your presentation, do you see that these actors are acting under the policies of the Chinese government? So what are the things that made you suspect that?
Yes, because the campaign is happen in the politics duration, so we just make the how to say that there's our surmise that not the evidence. Yes, it's because the time is matched. Thank you.
了解しました。
So there might have been some policy announced, and then after the policy was announced, you were looking at the behavior of the actors and assumed that it was based on Chinese policy. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much. Are there any other questions? No further questions? Then thank you very much.